Now, the winter storms have been tough on the island's pheasant population as well. In eastern P.E.I., pheasants were reintroduced to the area in 2007. Now, the population has been growing, but not without a helping hand from local residents. The pheasants are not native to P.E.I., so they're struggling with the heavy snowfall and stormy weather. The Souris and Area Branch of the P.E.I. Wildlife Federation is providing food to residents who are willing to head out and feed the pheasants. Island Morning's Nancy Russell traveled to Rollo Bay West to find out more.
My name is Bob Goishmer.
What is it that you're feeding them?
Cornmeal. Freddy supplied us there with the food.
Fred Shivery, Souris and Area Wildlife Coordinator. Souris Wildlife has been supplying feed to people who would adopt pheasants here for the last couple of years, and what we're finding is that the pheasants that we reintroduced to this area are starting to spread. When we started off first, they were introduced to Bear River, which is probably about 3 kilometres east of here, and we started there, released 19 the first year, and then intermittently half a dozen to 8 the odd year here and there. Last year I think we released 8 or 10. So we've got quite a congregation has taken place on this Rollo Bay West area going through. Really, that's our heavy concentration of them out in this area. And they're starting to spread now. They're going west down into Fortune, going to Fortune Bridge. So we got some people feeding down that way. And then over in Lower Rollo Bay, and Surrey Land Road's got a nice little bunch starting to develop. And we got one lone hen way up in East Point. Okay? Yeah. She's probably crowing looking for a mate these days. Yeah.
Why were the pheasants reintroduced here?
They're pretty. They're a magnificent looking bird, and people enjoy them so much, and so they're non-native to P.E.I., and they're not greatly adapted to heavy winters. They don't have fur down their legs and on their feet and stuff like that, and their nose and their beak is not really designed for handling sleet storms and stuff like that. We had a few mild winters here before 2013-14 and 14-15, and they seem to be starting to get there because they could find food. Last couple of winters have just been rugged. Once that snow comes and their food level gets covered, the bird becomes weak, and it's open game for predators, okay? And so the whole idea was we started this, we get people like Bob and many people like that to start feeding them. We keep the birds relatively healthy and give them a chance. So we're starting to see our population increase. I'm estimating that we probably got 100 or more birds in the general Eastern Kings area here, and it all came from the wild release. There were wild birds captured wild in Nova Scotia, in New Brunswick, and taken here and released. Years before that, Surrey Wildlife would try raising them, hatch the eggs out, get the pullets and do that, and then kind of keep them in a kind of safe environment or big outdoor pens, and then release them in the fall. They'd all seem to just dissipate, okay? So then we tried getting a few and capture them in the winter and take the eggs from them the next spring, hatch them out, and then release them so they wouldn't have too much adaptation to mankind, and they didn't survive. But these ones that you capture wild, let go wild, that's our best luck, and so that's the way to do it.
So Bob, tell me about the pheasants that you have here in your yard.
Probably they come twice a day. Sometimes I get 2 or 3, sometimes I get 5 or 6, sometimes I get a dozen. Last year we had 18 here at one time.
What do you like about the pheasants?
Oh, they're pretty bird. They're very shy. As soon as you come out here, they don't bother too much when I come around here. They stick around for a few minutes, but then they go there. When a stranger comes around, they just disappear.
But they recognize you?
They do, yes. I can walk from here to the building, and they're over there. They slowly walk away and don't bother.
Any idea where they nest here?
Yeah,
they get out in the hedgerows around here.
Yeah.
They like areas with great big long deep grass, like down towards the pond down in here. That big long grass way down below, that's a nice safety net for them. But in the wintertime they kind of come to those spruce hedges and they kind of hang in amongst that, and unfortunately that's where your coyote and your fox all travel hedgerows too, like, you know what I mean? So game on, you know.
Yeah.
And,
what's the long-term plan for the pheasants?
I don't think we'll ever get to the stage where hunting or anything like that will take place. Just adding another species in our list in this area that's kind of really nice, good to look at, and people can just appreciate it, you know what I mean? I think that's the key from our point. That's what we're interested in.
Okay. I had a lot of people come visit us, and pheasants come around. Oh, I never saw them before. The first time I ever saw a pheasant. They were pretty looking bird, and they're very nice. They're, especially with sunshine on them. It's unbelievable how pretty they are.
What does it mean to you having people like Bob who are willing to take the time to feed them?
Well, that's the only reason they're surviving. We got probably between 25 and 30 people feeding in the Eastern Kings area. They phone us up, and I've got some pheasants. I got some Hungarian partridges. We got some of them around too, and we're feeding them too. One guy up North Lakes got about 20 or so of those, and another guy got 5 or 6 up that way. And have the people phone up to show the interest. They have an interest in wildlife. They just have an interest in something a little different, persevered. And I think that's what really makes, in case of my job, it kind of makes it worthwhile, just knowing that everybody thinks of a wildlife group. Sometimes you just relate to fishing and hunting, and we're much more than that.
How much money do you think you've spent on the pheasants this year?
We received this year, thanks, I can't say enough thanks to P.E.I. Wildlife Conservation Fund, and that's the $20 that comes in from fishermen and trappers and hunters that they pay that conservation fee, and we got $500 from them, and we probably blew that about the end of February, and we're into March, so Surrey Wildlife is into their funds right now, and the board of directors are as happy as can be in terms of basically this is the kind of stuff they say that we raise our money for, and this is what we should be spending it on.
Any downsides to having a species that is dependent on being fed by humans?
You prefer if they didn't have to, but old-time winter's been here the last couple of years, so this climate change stuff where everything all is supposed to get milder, maybe in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, we won't have to feed them. We don't put out any feed until we have to, until that deep snow comes, because we want to keep them as wild as we possibly can, because that gives them the best chance of survival. So I just kind of go on the premise when we hit a couple of rough winters going through, and no big problem. Yeah.
Thank you both very much.
Okay, no problem at all.
Thank you, Nance.
Nancy was in Rollo Bay West, and that's where Bob has been feeding his pheasants, Bob Guzmarek, and Fred Cheverie, of course, the coordinator of the Souris and Area Branch of the P.E.I. Wildlife Federation, both speaking with Nancy there. And we put up some photos on our Facebook page. You can check it out at CBC Prince Edward Island.